UFC Fight Night, the Korean Zombie versus Max Holloway takes place next weekend. And guys, this is going to be a little bit of a sad outing as a giant fan of the Korean Zombie. I think I spoiled my prediction, but we're going to break down this fight anyways. We're going to get into it in just a second. Before we do, though, I do want to say hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with many YouTube channels. Let's talk with the tail of the tape. Two fan favorites going at it. Max Holloway versus Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie. And honestly, I'm a really big fan of both guys. Let's start off with Chan Sung Jung in his last 5 fights. So, as you can see, as we all know, the Korean Zombie's coming towards the end of his career, and I don't know if he's ever expressed interest in having like one more title run or what he's doing. Regardless, he's number 11, taking on the number 2 contender. This is really, really huge for him. It's a really big fight for him, to be honest with you, but then again, Max Holloway's cleared out most of the division. So let's talk about his last 5 fights. Of course, you have the 2 fights over here where he looked really good against Nato Moicano and Frankie Edgar, but then he had that loss to Brian Ortega, which he absolutely got dominated, and I was a little bit shocked, to be honest with you. I didn't think it was like the start of the reinvention of Brian Ortega's career, you know what I mean? But then he came back and got a really nice win over Dan Ige, but then, of course, he had that absolute destruction that Alexander Volkanovski put on him. Now, there's been people talking about this loss, okay? There's been people talking about either Alexander Volkanovski, was it just him being that good, or is it the Korean Zombie becoming old now? He's had a lot of damage, and he's coming towards the end of his career. He's 36 years old now. I think it's a combination of both, and that's what led to that absolute destruction that Alexander Volkanovski put on him. But speaking of fighters getting old, Max Holloway, I'm still shocked to see that is 31 years old now. I always feel like he's a little bit older, man, but let's talk. Okay, so of course, he had this loss to Alexander Volkanovski, which is a split decision loss, and a lot of people think that he won that fight. I personally thought that Alexander won this fight, but it was a close bout. But then after that, he came back and absolutely schooled Calvin Kattar and Yair Rodriguez. Although the Yair one wasn't a schooling, he just did very well in that fight. He showed that he has an all-round game, and honestly, that was a close fight. That was like the first time where I was seeing like, okay, is Max Holloway losing it a little bit, or is Yair Rodriguez really that good that he can hang with Max Holloway? I think that Yair Rodriguez is just that good because Max Holloway, of course, then he had that loss to Alexander Volkanovski, and that's when Alexander kind of schooled Max Holloway. So, depending on how you want to look that fight, Alexander Volkanovski destroyed both of these guys, but of course he destroyed the Korean Zombie a little bit more. So, I think these losses can just be chalked up to Alexander being that next level. Because then you saw that what he went on to do to Islam Makhachev. You know what I mean? That's absolutely crazy. But then, Max Holloway had a very nice win over Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen had his moments, but Max Holloway, for the most part, put on a very, very nice performance. Other than that, there's a big age gap here, 31 versus 36. Of course, they are both always fighting at featherweight, and Max Holloway has a height advantage, and surprisingly, the Korean Zombie has the reach advantage. It's just, sometimes those stats are weird, eh? So guys, to be honest with you, when looking at how these two match up, I'd be very, very shocked if this wasn't just a stand-up boxing fight. I know as of recent, Max Holloway has been utilizing a little bit more kicks into his game, but of course, he's a boxer first, and so is Chan Sung Jung. They both have their strengths of boxing. I'd be very surprised to see either of them divert from that game plan, and unfortunately, there's not much to break down here, man. Last time I looked, Max Holloway was a minus 800 something favorite. I know at one point he was over minus 1,000, minus 1,100. That is absolutely insane, and to be honest with you, I think that's justified. I see absolutely no way that Chan Sung Jung beats Max Holloway, and I'm saying this as a big Korean Zombie fan. I have always watched a Korean Zombie. I love the Korean Zombie. I will cheer for him over Max Holloway, although, like, don't get me wrong, I like Holloway too, but I can't see it, man. If they're going to go out there and swing, Chan Sung Jung's going to be slower and a little bit less technical. I'm not saying that he's not technical. I just think Max Holloway's better. I really, really believe we're going to see a Calvin Kattar type performance from Max Holloway. Chan Sung Jung's getting older. He's 36 years old. He's taken quite a bit of damage in his career, and honestly, he's been fairly inactive. Like, we haven't seen him too long ago. We saw 1 year ago against Alexander Volkanovski, then again 2 years. He was a little bit more active a couple of years ago, but still, he's been out of the game. But other than that, he's been fighting about once a year. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Unfortunately, I don't see this fight going anywhere else. Max Holloway is going to box his face off, and it's sad, man. It's sad. I want Chan Sung Jung. A lot of people think he's going to retire after this fight. I honestly think that he's getting there too. I don't know if the Korean Zombie has really opened up about talking about retiring, but this isn't the fight to do it, man. Fight someone down near the top 15. Fight someone outside the rankings. Get a nice win, then have your fairy tale retirement ending. It's like, man, this is happening in Singapore. And Chan Sung Jung's taking on Max Holloway. If he can manage to get the win somehow, that'll be crazy, and I will be jumping with joy. But other than that, I see Max Holloway just put on a Calvin Kattar type performance and boxing his face off. That's literally it. I don't have anything else to break down for this fight because I'd be shocked, like I said, to see either guy shoot a takedown or see either guy like really start a kickboxing match. They're going to box with each other. Max Holloway might be kicking a little bit more, but still, that's probably what's going to happen. And unfortunately, we're going to see another horrible loss to Chan Sung Jung, and I'm very sure about that, guys. I'd love to know what you think. If you think anything different down below, let me know, please. I would love to talk about it in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. On the screen right now, you will have 2 videos from the Clenbat channel if you'd like to continue watching. I will see you either there or in the next video, guys. Take care.